Hi, everybody. This is Bart Sharp, and you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious at United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 107.7 and 103.5 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. We are also on Roku, Facebook, YouTube, also on the uh, UPRN Talk Radio website, and that would be a .com on it. And I am still in France. Be here for another 7 weeks. Finally rained this week. We've had a horrible drought here, horrible hot weather, but we're getting over it. Everything is in transition, and we're just always keeping in mind that, as we put out these fires and avoid potential disasters all around in the world, maybe the best thing for us is to put out the fires inside of us, be better people, evolve more, and expand more. And today's show is so much about that in a very profound, deep, and ancient way. And so I'm going to bring on the guest, Hakim Awyan. Hey, Hakim.
Hello, Bart. Hello, everybody.
It's really good to have you on the show. I'm just going to start with your bio. Um, I this is the fourth time you've been on the show, and it's always for me. I'll always look forward to this show because you go places that other people don't. Um, so to give a little bit of bio on Hakim, he's born and raised at the base of the Giza Plateau. Hakim Awyan is a true wisdom carrier of the ancient Egyptian traditions. As, as the first grandchild of Abd Hakim Awyan, the renowned Kemeton or chematologist, wisdom keeper, Hakim was immersed in his ancestors' oral teachings, sacred scientists, and vibrational knowledge from an early age. A temple worker, a master stonemason, sound healer, and Egyptologist, Hakim's connection to the ancient sites of Egypt runs deep. His powerful toning abilities awaken the energy of stones and temples, opening portals of remembrance and healing for those who journey with him. Hakim believes that self-awareness is the most important key to growth, and that by learning a new way to see ourselves, we can completely change our lives. And you can find Hakim on hakimawan.com or Geb and Nut Tours. He's also a tour guide of one of many things. And I'm really glad you're on the show one more time.
Thank you very much. Always a great pleasure for me.
Oh, it is. You know, I know Akeem's wife, Karina, who next week, a master astrologer, and she lived here in France, renting a room where I rent a room, and so we became friends just by our interest in this area. And I was thinking she is probably the most adept Egyptian astrologer. And then she meets Akeem, and we're just like, what a find. He's a catch, Karina.
He's a catch.
He's the best. And so they're both happily in Egypt doing all of this great work. And so uh, this month is a lot about you two guys. Yeah. So when we talk about this, I guess we just need to start with the title, "The Secret of Point Zero," and what does that mean?
Yeah, I've uh, I've think about it for a long time till this is the first time for me to say this story till I actually saw it in a vision inside the Great Pyramid of Giza. And when I did my research that took me like 4 something years, and I'm still going on, following the footsteps of my family, my uncle and my grandfather, got mercy. So uh, I simply realized the natural force that the ancient Egyptian used to use that we call today the 0 point. And it's a smaller simulation of the center spot of the Earth. So how it happens in many spots around the world that the ancient world did know about it and used it, that when two ley lines across have specific numbers from positive and negative, they end up in a point where both of them creates zero.
Hmm.
And not a zero that there is no frequency, but zero, it's the point where all start. Exactly as the most powerful point of our magnetic field on Earth, that is the reason of all the rotation and the system that we know of. It happened multiple times around the Earth in small dots. And when that happened, the frequency of all the area around uh, change and become or act as if it's the center of the Earth or the core of the magnetic field, like the pyramid. And this 0 point creates this type of energy that is running in all of us and everything that is alive, which is everything. And no, nothing can jam it, nothing can change it. Uh, it's a huge force, and it creates equal 4 points from the center,
Hmm.
expanding with the power of the center as higher as it can get. So if these two numbers are 400 positive, 400 negative, it's different than if these two Lee lines are 800 and 800 or 1000 and 1000. So the
So
stronger it is,
go ahead.
start, sorry, the
The
stronger it
stro-
is, the bigger they expand on
wow.
4 levels.
So the
And
stronger the cancellation occurs, which goes to a 0 point, something almost in that, from what I understand, is almost like a state of nothingness, of less time and space there. But it but that's a big empowerment happens right at that spot. Am I getting
yeah,
that right?
yeah, yes, definitely. No, time is way slower. Space and physical material become a little bit less condensed in these spots.
Hmm.
So I assume if it's way higher, there will be no material to hold. It will all become nothingness, even if you still can see it with your own eyes.
Wow.
Uh, the expansion of this point, when the ancient knew how to hold it or multiply it, they were able to use it in many. But uh, first, the time part is very important. You pointed. The time we feel is different than time passing uh, actually or naturally. So the cycle,
So so the so the time at the 0 point is different concept than a mile away. Is that what you're saying, or a kilometer away?
Yes. When we are in the surroundings of these 0 points, we feel that time differently because our own frequency start to stop, and our frequency become part of the 0 point as well.
Wow.
Exactly as getting a small radio next to a strong sending. There will be no channels. It will all become one channel.
So I guess your grandfather probably took you there as a child and put you right in the middle of it, and you've been expanding with these points much of your life.
I'm unfortunately I was around the pyramid with my grandfather, but never inside one time.
Oh, okay.
I
Understand.
went inside with my auntie Shahrazad. I was 12 years old, and she also is a sound healer,
Mm-hmm.
and she used her sound, and I was able at the time to see colors of auras of all the people immediately.
Wow.
And I
That's
can
awakening.
now only now I understand how did this happen.
How's
When all of us is part of this 0 point frequency, their physical blockages stops,
hmm.
and we no longer uh, connected to our physical part, or we are more connected to our spirit and the connection of the universe more than the spiritual.
So we're talking about maybe our repressed anger, maybe other lifetimes that we're holding blockages, if we're holding physical ailments, and all of those type of things suddenly become clear to where the flow of our natural self comes forth.
Yes, during the time you will be inside one of these 0 points, uh, in the pyramid or around another one, even if it's natural and no building around it yet, in the time, temporary, you feel nothing else. None of your blockages exist. You're a small tube in a way bigger flow,
Okay, so
empty.
for all of you psychics out there, as this is what I'm doing, and before I say this, I just want to say hi to Charlotte Rocher um, on the tour, and we did have good weather when we're there. Hopefully, we'll have more better weather. But when you talk about this, all of you psychics out there, just tune into Hakim's body because he's living in that 0 point as he speaks of it, and we're going to kind of feel into it, so to speak. And gosh, I feel, when I feel it, it's almost like it starts in a place behind your third eye, you know, uh, in the back of your head. I call it the core crystalline source, and then it goes down in front of your spine, down to your second chakra, where it's really shining brightly. But it's just a thing that just penetrates all of you, and it's really wonderful. It's unique. It's a different sensation than regular power spots. Just FYI.
You,
Bringing
I'm
in
sorry.
psychic's perspective.
Wow. I have never seen actually somebody that sensitive. You can feel it like this, just
Yeah,
tapping
yeah, yeah.
into what
As
I'm
you,
saying.
and that's why I'm saying to all of you listeners, just
Wow.
just ask your body to go into Hakim's body and get this reality. Now, we're not really stealing from the pyramids or Hakim. We're enlightening us to have this clearer reality. So wherever we are in the world, we're more developed people. And I think we need more developed people all over the planet.
Yes, definitely.
So,
You,
so
you explain it magically.
well, this This is something I just tuned in on. Uh, so, how do you think the ancients used to do this? I mean, tell us. I mean, there's so many questions I have about this. It's like, you had the 0 point, but also you have astrological settings, but they did this at certain times of year. Therefore, when you go into certain pyramids at certain days or certain astrological alignments, and then another question, and I'm going to just load you with a few questions first before we go into the ancients. And maybe we are talking about the ancients, but not only astrology, but also other star alignments. And the obvious one, of course, is Sirius, but maybe there were other stars they were aligning with. I'll give it all to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I think from looking into archaeoastronomy and also talking now to Corina, mostly the fixed stars, most of the fixed stars that have a similar pattern every year had an alignment with some of the temples. And that takes us to the second point, which is the difference. Uh, yeah, there is the 0 point and there is multiple other alignments, as you said, like the geometrical shape or the stars or aligning with fixed star or the sun,
Mm-hmm.
or both. So the pyramids were built only to magnify this 0 point and feed it to the water or feed it to multiple temples at the same
Yes.
time, like an energy source. Uh, some of the stars had similar energy that can be formed into many later, like Siri. This is why it's the only star the pyramids are aligned with, different than the temples. The temples can be aligned with the Scorpio or Leo or another constellations with Siri, but the pyramids were only aligned to those.
Mm.
Um, the energy of those pyramids, for example, the Giza Plateau, I assume it had way more temples around the pyramid, getting their source of energy from the pyramid. The Sphinx was only one,
Mm.
and I think there was other 11, maybe more.
Wow.
Not
So,
11 Sphinx, different 12 shape that serve 12 different constellations.
well, that's an important distinction. Do you think it's 11 or 12 or 13? Because if it's a 12, that goes into a real master number.
I
It,
think it was 12.
wow.
And there is remainings around the pyramid of shafts dug into the bedrock and remainings of stones that used to cover these shafts to create pyramids or other shapes. And each shape will act differently
Hmm.
with the 0 point and reshape it to the purpose that it needs.
Can you
The,
say that again? I that would in
okay.
the it would reshape it.
Yeah, so the pyramid shape itself only magnifies these energy. But if you change
Mm-hmm.
this shape to a hexagon, for example, or a dome, a specific shape of a temple, energized by the energy of this pyramid, when the energy reach to this different shape or different geometrical shape as of that temple, it
Mm-hmm.
changes. It no longer become the 0 point. It take a specific frequency that serve a specific purpose or a chakra or an emotion.
Wow.
So I can take from it and make a temple for Sekhmet, for example, and this will be to serve the solar and the sun, the anger in us, the Leo in us, this one. So as if they were beaming it to a
Wow.
specific purpose. And
Well,
the different temples around Egypt was used like that. Each one had its own purpose, different than the pyramids.
hmm. almost
The
almost as if they wanted to have a culture that was a whole culture, and maybe you didn't go into each pyramid, but would it just resonate throughout the community so everybody would vibrate more wholeness more easily? Like they would have the fire inside of them, they have water elements, they would have harmony inside of themselves, and so on and so forth, the different qualities of what a complete and whole person would need to have. Is that something that you think they were, maybe it was in their minds?
I I I I I believe this was the purpose of all of it for that functionality to
Wow.
raise up our frequency as the humans and also the nature and the surroundings to become in more harmony.
Yeah.
Water, animals, trees, everything. And because we are in connection with these spirits as well. And when they are in a higher frequency, also us drinking the water or eating the green. Um, and there is evidence to show that all of these constructions was connected to the Nile and to the crops, and that many of the water had containers and places to keep what they call holy water or recharged water to for multiple reasons. Uh, and healing, of course, was one of the main reasons for it to
Hmm.
be able to put each human being in the right frequency, keep him healthy on all his sides, emotional and spiritual, physical and mental.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what we also want to remind everybody that from as a chematology standpoint point of view, they are studying these pyramids as if they're not 5,000 years old or 8,000 years old or 10,000 years old. From what you, from previous conversations I've had with you, we're talking 60 to 80,000 years old. Am I exaggerating, or is that?
Yeah. This is no, like 50, 60,000. I
Yeah.
assume. This is what I assume. And there is evidence, life evidence, still in the plateau. At least, if we're comparing to the mean extreme story or the academic story,
Hmm.
at least 15 to 20,000 to
Yeah.
start the
Yeah.
damage. So
To start.
because to start, so not when what was built.
Yeah.
The erosion on
Yes.
some of the stones in the plateau needs at least from 15 to 20,000 years to be in the shape that it is today. Knowing that these stones
Okay.
used to be cased with other stones. So this casing had to fall first, and then we start to count the 20,000. It's
So we really don't know
we
how
really don't
how
know.
long before the 20,000.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so
we don't know.
and the point I want to make to people is like this wasn't a desert community. This was a green, flourishing uh, community uh, as such. Just I think that's pretty common knowledge.
Uh, I think it was green and uh, rich with all the word that can mean land-wise
Hmm.
and people and frequency. uh, everything.
Yeah.
The the way we can be following this knowledge you speak about, I think, is beyond our imagination.
Yeah.
It can become all positive. That's
Mm,
what I believe, and all uh, loving and caring, not just
mm.
not materialized as much.
Yeah. Wow. So all the temples are not around the pyramids anymore. Am I correct? There's some that are there and some that are missing.
Most is missing, unfortunately.
Wow.
The Giza Plateau, officially, this is يعني written in the official story, has or was a quarry for stones for over 2,000 years. This is written in the books. And the Arabians, when they came to Egypt 600 something years ago, they smashed a lot of it to rebuild the wall of Cairo and the mosque and the citadel. Uh, and if we can only imagine how many or how much stones can you clear out of one spot in 2,000 years?
Yeah.
This is a lot. And it can be, it can, maybe it had more pyramids and way more temples than what I'm saying, because the time is enough to quarry all that out. And till now, the temples that is far away from the pyramid or that doesn't have a pyramid around it, I believe all or most of the Egyptian temples have a pyramid inside each geometrical shape of it. So it
Wow.
can be there is pyramids in some of those temples that is not obviously standing,
Mm,
but it exists in the shape or the coding shape of the temple itself.
so
So
we
sometimes you enter the temple and it's very high from the beginning, and then it gets lower and lower and lower till you reach the Holy of Holies, and it's shaped a laying down pyramid, you know.
wow. So
Uh,
we would never know that unless we took the pyramid apart, which no one's going to be able to do.
it's very difficult.
Very difficult. However, just with subtle hints and clues, it's like it only makes sense that they would make a pyramid within a pyramid because pyramids magnify pyramids. I mean, I know this because I have a pyramid on top of my screened-in porch and another pyramid. When I place it in there for fun, it gets more intense.
Hmm.
Uh, and we want to say hi to Heidi Gold. Good to see you from Boulder, Colorado. A long way from Egypt. And since we kind of got a lull here, I'd like to tell everybody that you are listening to Becoming Quantum Conscious, and my name is Bart Sharp, and this is United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 107.7 and 103.5 out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are FM, but also we are on the internet, uprntalkradio.com, and we are with Hakim Awyan, and you can catch Hakim's work at Hakim Awyan, and that'd be HAKIM AWYAN. But also you can go to Geb and Nut Tours. And so Geb is the sky and Nut is the landscape.
Je- Jeb is the land, and Nut is the goddess of the sky.
It's
And they both represent the grandfathers of all the knitters, all the Egyptian gods.
wow.
Uh, the Isis and Osiris and Set and Nephthys. Uh, Jeb and Nut are supposed to be their parents.
Wow.
Uh, and they are in Egyptian mythology, the land is male, not like most of the earth is the man. He
Hmm.
represent the land, and the sky is represented by uh, Nut, this powerful female with all the stars and the constellations in her body. Um, and she gave birth to Ra, the sun. She's the mother of the sun.
Yes. And so it is this big landscape of everything, basically, when we
Mm.
say Geb and Nut, it sounds like. Um, it's wonderful to have a holistic um, perspective. Being an American Indian, we have an expression that's very similar, like everything between the stars and the ground, uh, uh, something like that. Uh, so you also do sound healing, and I
Mm.
was just curious if you could just explain, because my intuition more than my knowing tells me that you're connecting to some of those places when you do sound healing in a temple or a pyramid. Uh, and I just wondered if you could share what your process is when you do that.
Okay. Uh, it's really joyful for me to do that. I enjoy it.
Mm.
Uh, I try to become the voice of the temple itself, and um, I learned that I only heard my auntie and my grandfather, uh, but when you let go to these places to take over, I simply start the first note that come to my feelings, and after that, the I connect to the place by allowing this voice coming out to hit the walls and come back for me with a different note that I answer similar to it. So, for example, if my sound is 3, I get back 4.5, and I answer with 4.5, I receive 7, and then
Yep.
I answer with 7, I receive 9. It's like this, and the existence of another person in the middle of this process can change the frequency or change what I would receive to fit his needs.
Wow. So
So the temple
basically,
works
you're
to
having a
help the
communication with the temple.
Mm,
You're having a communication with the temple,
yes,
as if it's a conscious being.
it is. I know this sounds crazy as well, but
No,
uh,
no, 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 no. It's not crazy because I'm doing sound healing work with some of those elements, but I have never given it to the church. I do it in a church and gotten something back like that. It's a different process, but I don't have a cool Egyptian chematologist grandfather to teach me.
you don't need to teach that. I swear, the sensitivity you have is a different power you hold. And
It is,
I
but
don't know
it's
how it would be for you in the Egyptian temples. Maybe you will make me quit after.
oh, it's making me want to come. So when you talk about this, you wrote this in the website that you believe the pyramids and the temples are bioorganic. That they're almost as if there's water flowing through them. Uh, we could compare that to having a bloodstream or something. Or maybe that's a bad example, but what do you think about that idea?
No, no, not bad, not bad. The blood is carrying all the vitamin and oxygen for us.
Yes.
Uh, so the water and the pyramids is doing the same thing, carrying the frequency from the pyramid to the outside, and
Hmm.
also bringing frequency to the pyramid to be adjusted. Uh, and I have been into the subterranean channels underneath the Great Pyramid of Giza, and 3 levels, 45 meters below ground level, dug in the mountain, and at the lowest level, you reach water. I have been there, and we still can go. And the water in there have been tested by some, and uh, they realize it have way higher hydrogen still than normal water.
Wow.
And uh, the I don't know the right word for it, but the molecules of
Hmm.
the water was mostly in one pyramid shape or two or three.
Uh-huh.
So they had the shape of the pyramid
Wow.
uh, in the water molecules, and they say this one, of course, it's have been sitting for some, or the flow of it is very slow, not as it
Yes.
used to be. But if it's clear enough and we can drink it, it would change the shape of the water within us as well.
Wow.
Uh,
Have you had that opportunity to taste it?
not directly from the one underneath, but our house in Giza is right in front of the Giza plateau. يعني 20 meters, 30 meters to the gate of the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And our water comes from a well water, so it's technically same water, I think. And I
Wow.
did purify myself in the original one more than one time, but didn't drink it. No,
Wow.
uh, I did drink from another one in a place called Abu Jarab,
Mm.
very close to the Giza Plateau, but it's closed, locked by the Ministry of Antiquities till now. Nobody allowed inside.
Ah, it's too bad. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the consciousness of water travels, so that has all kinds of potential with it. That you could use it for various purposes. Totally, totally
many,
amazing.
uh, and it affect differently human than nature and the surroundings. Um, for us, it rebalance us because we are our natural uh, form, or our natural phase is high frequency. So when
Yes,
we are reharmonized, we we naturally evolve.
yes,
For the nature around, it have the elements that make it higher frequency, but this is not the norm of it. So
yeah.
when we use it, it help us.
Mm.
It help our growth, uh, or becoming in a higher frequency.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
yeah, but the first one is harmony. The main the main purpose of harnessing this power is restoring harmony in all of us.
that's a good place. It
Uh,
really feels like it's very much in your heart. It's very much in your heart. Harmony.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Harmony. Uh, and between the heart, they say, the ancients say, harmony is 3 points: heart and mind, mind and tongue, or mind and mouth.
Really? Why the mouth?
Uh, it's the way you communicate your surroundings. One of the biggest way you communicate. Never underestimate words. It's one of the human's magical power. Word can create, can destroy, can heal, can give poison, and can make miracles. The teachings of Betah, one of the Egyptian letters, says he created all life forces by wishing for it, imagining it, and wishing for it, and speaking.
Yes.
So we
Wow.
can create all what we want by these three combined in harmony.
Hmm. You know, it doesn't even sound like this is part of a chakra system because the throat is, of course, a different chakra, but I always get that there was something very, very different about the mouth, and I never really understood it, but it's that synthesis of mind, heart, and it coming out. It's kind of a different reality than the chakras themselves, it sounds like. This is one more piece of the puzzle, at least for me, of how to understand that.
Yeah,
Wow.
the what do you call it? Trinity, like when you have three of
Yep.
each.
Yep.
The Egyptian way of looking at the chakras was 9 chakras
Mm-hmm.
divided into 3 sections. Each three together create one big one, and the three big ones create one massive one.
Wow. Interesting.
So
Wow.
the nine creates three, the three creates one. The the first nine is the nine we know. The three after is one is taking care of the physical realm, which is the mind, the heart, and the, the throat.
Um,
The
yeah.
other three, like the sun and the one lower, is our potential in the physical, our purpose in the physical, and the energy that is running into us to achieve this goal, and also the way or the belief behind it, making sure we always go back to the spiritual one.
Mm.
And the spiritual one is another tree, which is the root with the crown together, knowing that where it ends, where it begins. And this is, no matter what is the journey is, this is the one you always will end up to. And these three together, when there is harmony with it, your spiritual side is powerful. And the three major ones together creates one massive one, which is the Ech, as the ancient pronounce it, or the what we call the higher self. The higher self.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes so much sense because if you are in that higher spiritual part, it's going to give you the harmony and the self worth and a connection to higher ideas. And the other ones will follow that, react to that. There's a great wisdom with that. Now, you're leading a tour in November, I believe, with a friend of mine who's been on the show a few times, Penny Loftus from France.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was just talking to her because she's my neighbor here in Quillon, France, and she's going, well, we're going to an ocean or a desert ocean with whales bones that are fossilized, and uh, it just sounded very, very much fun. I mean, of course, you're going to go to the Giza and you're going to go to a lot of these great places. And with you guiding, of course, if you go to Egypt and you want to go to these places, you have to have a guide. There's so many red tape, rules, regulations, police officers that you need someone to help you to go through this, that you really can't just walk up and do it. You have to have somebody. And for you, of course, you're you go back an untold amount of generations as a temple worker or as someone who has worked with the pyramids. You do not know where your family lineage began, but that's always been your history, and, if I understand correctly.
Yes, I'm
So,
lucky that this was it's freeing my mind, being a part of this lineage, and it makes me also sometimes hard to stand in my own power. I compare myself to these great elders. Uh,
well,
that's why I
you're
want to always make sure I am following their footsteps with enough respect.
yes, yes, and that's a very honorable thing. And humility is a good thing because it really makes us stay out of our ego, stay centered, and know that we're connected to so much help beyond us in just our mind. So I know it's in your blood. But going back to the ancient lake, could you just share a little bit about what that is?
Sorry to the ancient one.
The ancient lake, the ocean where the whales are.
Yeah, the this place is the Valley of the Whales. Um, it have a petrified bones that is 40 something million years ago, and uh, some of this water is still around, carrying all these DNA or DNA coding till today. And the space where they found these petrified whales uh, have a very big story that they find two different types of bones, and it shows this maybe have happened twice to the same spot, and it proves the idea of the cycles and that there is a major or a bigger cycle that comes and ends, and every life portion starts again. And these whales had, as we were speaking, had little hands and feet
Oh,
before
wow.
and they did find lots of sea creatures, including something that looks like a mermaid. They have
Wow.
the skeleton bone for it till now, petrified. It's half of a natural, half of a rare looking fish that looks exactly like a human face and a body, and the second half is a
Wow.
tail, just like a dolphin. It looks exactly like a mermaid. I'll send you some pictures. Um,
Wow. That's amazing.
and it's really weird, يعني mind blowing. And the feeling in the spot itself, it now became desert, but you still feel the low weight or the less gravity as if you are in the ocean still.
Mm-hmm.
And um, a huge space that starts from the inside out make you feel anything I have can come out. Anything
Wow.
can come out.
Wow. Wow.
And I don't know what is the why is the source of this uh, unique vibe, because I have been in the desert in many other spots, but this one I think it still have lots of the codes or lots of the energy that used to run, of course, in the ocean all these millions of years ago, and it's still there. This time we're gonna try to camp in this place and watch the stars in the
Yeah,
desert.
yeah, that sounds like a really great tour favorite to do. So, how many tours are you doing? I know you're doing the one with Penny, but what else is on your schedule?
On my schedule, there is the big tour. It starts on the 25th of October till the 6th of November. This one is covering all of Egypt, from Cairo to Aswan, for private permissions. That means only us in the site, Giza Plateau and the Sphinx, between the Sphinx Bar. And this place we were speaking about was the water, Abu Jarrah, and Isis Temple in Aswan. We also have a private sailboat. We will cut the Nile uh, in 4 nights in the magical river Nile, and enjoying the nature and the temple. Some of the scenes are alive as it is at least 5,000 years old. A crop and a field place that used to be owned by the temple is still alive. People still farming it using same tools, almost same people. They still in the land, didn't leave. You can go like it literally feel outside of this time zone. You
Wow.
everything is different. Everything is different.
So
Uh,
you can
I
find
remember one of our guests told me once, this feels like TV, but live.
and you can find out a lot more of this information at Geb and Net Tours. That'd be GEBANDNUTTOURS.com, or go to HakimAyawan.com, and you can just learn more about from all of this cool stuff that you're doing. And I just want to let you know that you are listening to Hakim Ayawan. Uh, God, jack of many trades, from tour guide to chematologist, stonemason, healer, sound healer. I'm sure I'm forgetting one or two there. Um, but it's totally amazing. And my name is Bart Sharp. I think that's my name. I might have changed my name. I think I'm starting to get that Egyptian expansion, and I'm forgetting who I am. But you are on Becoming Quantum Conscious, and this is United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 107.7 and 103.5 FM out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. And we're also on the EPRN Talk Radio website, Facebook, YouTube, and Roku, and other internet platforms. Uh, Next week, we're having Hakim's wife. See, they're kind of family friends, though I've never met Hakim personally. I feel like I just know him, so I can say that. But Karina Chrysler Iwan will be on Master Astrology, or Egyptian astrology, Chinese astrology, and then Plano astrology with her new book. And we're going to be going into some really great stuff. Hakeem, it was really great having you on the show today. Thank you
Thank you
so
very much.
much.
I really did enjoy it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And we will see everybody next week, and many blessings. Thanks again.